And I was just like, dude, if I can get my hands on that with what I'm doing with Boss and Cage and unite those two bad boys together, first of all, I got to fix their audio. Like their audio completely sucks. But besides their audio, like the content talks to the demographic. But unfortunately, it's not owned by the demographic. So I think it is missing some things that it can definitely grow into. So I was like, why not? Why not shoot for the damn stars? Why would I say I want to buy something for $100? I want to buy something for like $200 million. It's a real thing that can happen if you stay and stick to it and aim for that goal. And I'm building all these different media outlets to get me to the point to where
shit happens. Shit happens to you and me. It doesn't matter if you're a wizard, a king, or a queen. Even if you are magic, you gotta agree. It's worth it to talk shit out no matter how messy. Shit happens. Shit happens.
Just an FYI, this episode was recorded live February of 2024 and it is now April of 2025. But what better episode to follow last episode, which was episode 12 with Holly, than one with my very own mentor. Enjoy! Also, thank you to 25,000 downloads, which we just reached this past Monday. Woohoo!
Hello. Look at me being caught on live trying to get myself together. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shit Happens, where shit happens. Oh, shit. I'm trying to learn this shit. Yo, don't mind me. I'm still learning this shit, okay? They say, Chris says start ugly. So we're going to start ugly and we're going to get better together. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring this guest of mine today is my mentor. I love this man and I love everything that he's doing. And y'all need to learn some shit from him. So, hello, S.A. Welcome to Shit Happens.
what up? Yeah, the greatest title ever. Shit happens. I could just picture it visually when I close my eyes. I wake up in the morning. I'm just like, yo, shit happens, man. For real.
Right? Like yesterday when I had to do my 6 o'clock, so my mom showed up, was supposed to move yesterday, it didn't work out, again, shit happens. And so I was in the car hoping I'd get to the place by 6 o'clock so I can do my live, but it didn't. So I had to do it on the Uber. We were in the Uber, I had to tell the Uber driver, turn off the radio. I told my mom, like, shut up, you ain't going to talk. And I was going, and the guy was like, I mean, shit happens, right? I'm like, what?
100% facts. 100%.
What are you doing, S.A? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, man. I'm cracked out on coffee. I got a lot of shit going on today. You know, it's Friday. So Friday is my day when I kind of do things behind the scenes. So that's what I got going on right now.
I know. I love it. I love hanging out at your spot on Fridays. I can't wait to do that again. So, S.A,
Yes.
you are from. I remember the first time I met you. It's been we're going to 2 years now.
Yep.
And when I met you, we were talking, and you looked at me and you're like, "Why the fuck aren't you rocking a brand?" And that shit sat with me. And since then, I've been nothing but, I mean, it is the Stanley, but it's still my brand. Since then, every time I'm wearing something, unless I'm rocking, you know, Boss and Caged or somebody's, I'm like, why ain't I rocking my shit? And it's like a light tube went up where it was like, for real, instead of spending the money buying people's shit, I should be spending the money creating my own shit and wearing it, because how else are people gonna know about it, right?
100%.
So what got you so big in branding? Because I mean, look at, if y'all are here live watching us, have you seen the bag? And that's nothing, because I have been to his studio and that's half of the shit. So what got you into brand, like
Branding?
sleep on branding, especially on the match who are like having their own shit. So what got you? Because you rock your own shit. Everything is Boss and Caged.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to build a business and it's based upon the stages of where you are, if you're starting a new corporation, it's always more difficult for that corporation to get any shine until it becomes a household name. So part of that is branding 101. And I always teach people about there's 4 types of branding, right? There's a personal brand, there's a business brand, there's a service brand, and there's a product brand. And then I use Apple as an example, right? Steve Jobs, everyone knows Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs could walk into your house right now, you'd be like, holy shit, Steve Jobs. If somebody gets a brand new Apple computer, you're like, oh shit, they got a brand new Apple computer. Somebody got an Apple phone, somebody using iTunes. Again, that's what branding is really about. So stage 1, why would you pay a premium for somebody else's brand that doesn't know you exist, that doesn't support you, that doesn't put food on your damn table, that doesn't do anything for you just for bragging rights? I put a middle finger up to that and I'm just like, yo, you got to rock your brand day in and day out until that brand becomes somebody else's. Holy shit, I got to buy that brand. I got to wear that brand. And you just keep doing it like that. Because again, that's what branding is really about.
I love that. And that's so true because literally since then, like even my Nikes, I have Nikes with Talk Shit with P. And at Podfest, when I was at Podfest, everybody was like, even when I went to Afros and Algiers, now a lot of people know me because I was literally walking around with my brand on me everywhere. So even before they see me, they see that logo or they see that sign, and now they know it's like the awareness becomes even bigger.
100%. 100%. And that's the way to do it too. I mean, you ever think about it from the standpoint, like pricing wise, if you're going to go buy a hoodie or you're going to buy a t-shirt, you're going to buy anything, you can get that same exact thing designed for yourself for the same cost, if not less. And then obviously it's a write-off as well. So technically speaking, you can get it 10 times cheaper than if you were buying someone else's brand. So it only makes logical sense for any startup, any company, any podcast, any media outlet to rock their brand. And you could look at TV and you can see that, right? You can see that commercially people that are broadcasting their brand, it's night and day difference between someone that doesn't have their brand. You try to figure out, well, who are they, what company they are. But if you're looking at a video and that brand is right there, subconsciously you're going to constantly keep looking at that logo and eventually you're going to memorize it.
Right. Now, speaking of that, because you literally said something there which we're going to get into, which is so important, and I've always wanted to ask you, but I feel like this is the perfect time because I need other people to hear it. Because there's so many people like me over there who are financially struggling, right? But we also want to really build our brand, and we know it's not cheap as well, right? Trying to get everything in your brand, like, and some either it's cheaper to buy in bulk, some is cheaper to. There are all these different companies. So, how would you, for a person who's financially struggling? Oh, did we lose this?
That was random.
Shit happens.
100% facts. Go ahead, actually.
But that's the beauty about being a podcaster or content. Like, we understand technology. As much as you want it to be perfect, shit happens sometimes. So it is what it is. But so how would you, like, for us who financially struggling or paycheck to paycheck, we're still trying to make our life financially work without the extraness. What best ways would we go about branding ourselves?
Well, I mean, you're talking about like branding with monetization, and there's so many different strategies to that. I would just think about thinking outside the box. Obviously, before you could think outside the box, you have to see what everyone else is doing. So if you're talking about podcasting and you're talking about branding, by default, most people are trying to make money by selling ad spots. But there's alternative routes to make money and do the same thing without necessarily selling ad spots. You can technically do ad spots for yourself. Like I would say that's the low hanging fruit. If you have merchandise, if you have services, if you have courses, anything that you have that you're selling to clients right now, why don't you then create that commercial for your podcast and lead with that before you even try to sell the ad spots? Because again, if you have listeners, those listeners will eventually then convert into purchasing your products the more and more they listen. So that's step 1.
Gotcha. I'm grateful for that. But what I was actually trying to ask, like, you see your stuff at the back. You have books, backpacks, you have notebooks, you have hats, shoes, like all that cost money to create.
Yeah. I mean, money or time, right? So I mean they're parallel to each other. Luckily for me, I have a design background. So for me to design something, like literally, it's kind of like somebody wakes up in the morning and they meditate. I wake up in the morning and take 15 minutes and design something. Like that's just the way I do it, right? But ideally, if you don't have that design gumption, you could easily then take your brand and think about it from the standpoint of hiring someone for really cheap through Fiverr to make some designs for you and even upload it directly to whatever platform you want. So there's different ways of doing it. And you could learn how to design as well and keep things very simple, much like what you've done. You have your logo, you have your visual, and you're just sticking that on top of different things that you like to wear, first of all, things that you like to drink from, second of all, and then ideally, if you're using it on your podcast and people will see you using it, and then the next thing is like, where do I get it?
And mention something as well over there, because really the king of design. Like every time I see a post, for all you follow him on Instagram, for Facebook his presence is very. If you are not on Facebook, you should. But I see all the creativity in your post, right? It's not just a normal post. Like it makes me stop and want to read, because it's like, oh my God. And your presence on Facebook is so wide. Like there's no day I go and say, how do you presence happen for us who are still learning to be present, to put our presence on social media? How do we accumulate that?
So I think the first thing that most people that create content forget about is their old content. They forget about repurposing content. So if you're looking at my posts and understanding the way the algorithm works, let's say if I have 10,000 people following me on Facebook and I make a post on Monday, out of that 10,000, maybe 100 people will see that post. So think about that. If I'm posting Monday at 9 a.m., 100 people will see it. What would it look like if I post that post 3 weeks later on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. and then post it again 3 months later on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. So that's what I've done. I've created enough content to where I recycle it on automation and repost it, and then I keep creating new content. So by the end of the day, when I'm said and done, I should be posting content like every 15 to 20 minutes every damn day forever, because I'm recycling, reposting, and creating new all the time.
And that's so true. Literally, me and Alex was sitting right next to him, and we were like, "How are you? How is your content?" Like literally, and he was sitting right next to us. So I all get points. By the way, there's some comments over here. What's good? Shout out to Chris Ton, y'all. Chris Ton is on here, and he says that's facts right there. You've got to get your audience used to hearing you recommend things for them, even if you created it yourself. 100%. I feel like sometimes the thing that we are scared is either to brag about ourselves or like the call to action, right? We are always talking about call to action. So instead of plugging in some people's shit, plug in your own shit, right?
100%. Like, why? I mean, think about it. Everyone does it. Like, prime example, I'm learning a new language on Duolingo, and every night when I'm doing Duolingo, I always look at their marketing, and all like literally 9 out of 10 of their commercials on Duolingo is a Duolingo commercial. It's the most ingenious way of. They don't have to pay for marketing. You're already using their app for free, and then they're promoting their paid platform through their app. It's ingenious, but most people don't think like that. It was like, oh, I'm gonna pay for ads. I'm gonna do this. In reality, if you have a platform, why would you not use your platform and that target audience to put your own personal ads in front of them?
I know we all have 24 hours, but I feel like you have maybe extra hour from God. Do you have a deal plan with it? Because you are doing so many things. Like for all who doesn't know, like essays. As an actually, this is something I'm very proud of, because I haven't seen a lot of people do. And essay, literally, I haven't seen anybody do. Essay was the first person in this industry that I saw offering that. The intern program that you did, you are doing the internet radio. You guys are Boston Cage podcast. You have the foodies, not only the podcast but the group, the event. You have the book club. You're about to take over Tubi.
Damn right.
Like, and that's just not all of it. Like that's just I know. So how do you do it all?
I just look at it as strategies, man. Like my first gift and curse was I was trying to build an enterprise-based company that was stretched out too thin. So like when I had my stroke and I came back, I was like, okay, I'm going to build something major, something big, but I'm going to do it all underneath one core keyword, and that's media. So anything that you see me do today, like it may sound different, but if you look at it from a standpoint of media, it all falls under that umbrella. Like you said, books, publication, internet radio, podcast, TV, all of that is simply media. So as long as media can go into it, you're going to see me eventually get into that space. Like we was talking offline about like my next thing I'm going to do with internet radio. All of that is 100% media. Like in the early days, I was jumping into insurance and travel agent, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm trying to kill myself. How do I redo that and use people for what they really want to do at scale, and then apply everything media? So if somebody comes to me with a new idea and that idea has nothing to do with media, they're going to get a middle finger, and then they're just going to have to move on because it has nothing to do with media. So I'm not going to do it.
I mean, you are no nonsense, straight up shooter. So what else can we accept? But it's amazing because I watch you a lot. I don't know if I think I've told you once, but I watch and I learn a lot from you. Like sometimes I don't. I have an issue with reading online, right? Like that's why I don't do what do they call that? Not the audiobooks, but to have a book and paper to read. But if I'm reading like a book online or long post, like my eyes just go, and then I'm just in like. So sometimes even though because your posts go, but they do go into detail, and that's why I started reading them. Because in the beginning I would just look at the image and read a few lines, and then the deeper I went to reading, I started learning a lot. Like most of my growth has come from watching you, and that's why I always say you're my mentor. Because I watch, I listen, I apply. Where I don't, I always reach out when I can, when I have questions. And even the intern program, it wasn't meant for me. I still found my way inside there.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate that, and I always say, take advantage of stuff like that, because I mean, from the outside looking in, a regular user would be like, internet radio, isn't that thing dead and all? But again, I'm doing things a little bit differently, and I'm making everything work together. So you're getting to see underneath the hood and understand why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and I don't leave anything undiscovered. Anything you want to know, I'm going to tell you.
I mean, you made me go buy a brand new laptop just because I was getting so frustrated. I've had issues with my laptops here. Like the technology has now been on my side, but that was my only barrier into achieving what I wanted to achieve with that. But I got this because I was like, yo, no, I'm not missing up on that. Opportunities like this, and I feel like that's why some of us don't grow in these industries. Whether you don't need, like when I started podcasting, I didn't know shit about it. But right now, I can literally tell myself like that to a certain point, I'm an expert at certain shit because of all the shit I've done. And because I've taken the opportunities. Again, just like you say, the intern program. People even came to me like, you want to be an intern? You're going to put, but I'm like, switch your mindset because you're thinking that you're wasting an hour to learn. But no, you could, I'm getting it for free because I could spend a lot of money to learn from somebody who doesn't even know the shit. Like, not, they're just giving me the basics. What SA is giving is different. And I'm learning from a person who I actually want to learn from, who I want to be like, who I want to get, because I've already got so much. So I think sometimes people miss the opportunities or the growth because of that mindset. Like, oh, I don't want to be an intern. I'm too old to be an intern. Why should I give my free time? Why should I show up? Why should I listen? All those. But that's where it is.
Yeah, I think people definitely miss that mark. Because prime example, if Elon Musk was saying he was giving an internship, they wouldn't be saying that shit. If Steve Jobs was saying to do an internship, they wouldn't be saying that shit. If Donald Trump, if they're a primetime individual that they've seen on TV and they have that ranking that they want to be comparable to, by default, they'll do anything for free. A lot of people go on TV and reality TV essentially for free just to get the publicity, right? So it's the same thing. For you, it's learning. It's a learning curve to where somebody else may not know how to do what you're learning how to do. And then you can take that and then apply that to what you're doing. Because again, we're both in media. So everything I'm going to teach you is media driven.
And that's so true. I also say the same thing about especially when you are building something where the support, especially from friends and family, is a little bit lacking on certain level. And then once they see you like, oh my God, you did that? You could do that? Now everybody wants to be like, I know him. Yo, can you show me? Yo, can you do that? Like, where was this there? And I tell people right now, like, y'all have been laughing at me, but now I'm winning awards. Now I'm being recognized by certain people. You feel like, oh, I know that guy. Don't wait until Oprah or somebody starts recognizing me for you to give me my flowers. If you're not here with me right now, hey, baby, you're gonna have to talk to my assistant, I'm gonna have like the lower level assistant, then who passes you to the middle one, then to the top one. By the time you get to me, I don't care if we went to high school together.
Yeah, and I think people, they don't understand that. I mean, a lot of times I'll have conversations and people are like, hey, can I call you right now? And I'm just like, dude, like my schedule is crazy. To your point, there's 24 hours in a day, and every hour is packed with doing something. So if it's not pre-planned or scheduled, it doesn't exist. And people, they still want to pick up the phone and call. And I'm like, you could ask my wife. It's so funny. Like I have probably 3,000 missed calls. I don't answer my phone. My ringer's not on. And if you're not like in our household to where I need to make sure that your livelihood is okay, that phone call honestly really doesn't matter at that point in time, because I have other things that were pre-scheduled that I'm focused on at that moment.
Let's just say that, because I just realized I don't even have your number. But I communicate with you almost daily, but I don't have your number. But at least our communication is, because since I met you, like I didn't have to be sold about, you really need to get to know SA. Like we met in Atlanta Mixer, the podcast meetup. I listened to you and I just started following you. Invited me to the foodies I can. And ever since seeing that, because also community is important, and to see the community you keep building in the foodies, in the book club, like that is something I aspire. So I follow, not because, who is they say, like somebody told me I should follow. No, because I know where I want to be and I know who I want to surround myself with in order to get there. And I think because the reason also you give me your time is because you see I put in the time as well. Because I tell people, even when you end up asking people for their time or taking those courses, because if I'm not going to work on a course, I'm not going to even sign up for the free one, because I don't want to waste a time or take a spot from somebody. So anything I attend, even Adam, shout out to Adam Shively, podcasting business school, I attend is boot camps, and I actually do the work, because I've seen Adam, what he does. I know what he preaches and what he brings. So I even work. I do the homeworks. I do everything. Like the reason shit happens is because of an audit I did with Adam, and he gave me the idea to start something like this. So I do the work, and when people see like, she shows up, she does the work, we see her go. Of course, they're gonna put more time into you. But I'm not gonna put time if you constantly show up, but every time you show up, you're still on the same level. There's nothing new information. You're not doing anything, but you're just showing up.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's the first thing, is taking action to actually receive the results that you're trying to get. And I think most people, they miss that mark. They just think, okay, if I ask for it, that's all I need to do. No, you need to ask for it, then you need to show up, and then you still need to do above and beyond whatever that person is delivering to you as far as their expectations. And then they'll put more into you. And I think that's the rule of thumb. There's always another level. If I decided to get in contact with like Grant Cardone will want to know, like, what the hell am I doing? Can we even be on the same wavelength? Can we speak the same language? Because he does not want to waste his time. He wants to see results. And at the end of the day, the results he will get from me, he can use those results as testimonies to get more people to then follow him, to then do the same thing, step and repeat.
So true. We just came back from Podfest, right? So one of my friends, shout out to Sandy, 90 days win. You also know her. So she was there, and she came to me and she was like, oh my God, Paula, I can't believe I did this. I'm like, what? I just signed up for that TEDx program. I'm like, trust me, my finances are not there right now, but I really want to sign, because I know what that can do for you. And I also know my mindset right now is not there, because I don't want to do that and then end up failing, but it will be on me, because my mind right now is not on that level yet, like with all the stuff I have going on. But I told her something. I was like, Adam is amazing, and he will do his best. And that money you spent, it's an investment, because it will come back. Mm-hmm. But you also got to do your part, because your coach can only do their part. The rest is you. How badly do you want it? Yeah. How hard are you going? Are you doing what you're meant to do? Are you putting in the time, the energy, the effort? Because if you're not, Even even if you get Steve Jobs to train you, shit ain't gonna happen.
100%. 100%.
By the way, Dealcasters are also same with Chris. That's his program, I believe. He said, inspired by SA, just subscribe to Boston Cage. Yoo-hoo! That's what we're talking about. We are
Appreciate
here to inspire and motivate and just share some shit. So, SA, this is out of the blue. Why are you trying to buy Tubi?
It's one of those things, man. Like the more and more I dive into like growth strategies and I understand like the hierarchy of media, and Tubi is essentially owned by Fox, and Fox is directly owned by Disney. And then you think about the demographic that watches Tubi essentially is majority African Americans, and then African Americans are using that platform to then create movies that Hollywood would not give them access to before. And I was just like, dude, if I can get my hands on that with what I'm doing with Boston Cage and unite those two bad boys together, first of all, I got to fix their audio. Like their audio completely sucks. But besides their audio, like the content talks to the demographic. But unfortunately, it's not owned by the demographic. So I think it is missing some things that it can definitely grow into. So I was like, why not? Why not shoot for the damn stars? Why would I say I want to buy something for $100? I want to buy something for like $200 million. It's a real thing that can happen if you stay and stick to it and aim for that goal. And I'm building all these different media outlets to get me to the point to where Tubi could then fit underneath the Boston Cage brand.
I actually see that. And I'm saying it here. I see you guys actually buying. First of all, I did not know that it was owned by Fox and Disney. Like, with the content that's in there to find out that it's owned by Disney and Fox out of all people, like. Yeah. Well, Disney kind of makes sense because of their children's stuff that they have now. Now it's clicking on the kids side. Like, why? But it's still like the entire picture is still like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's Showtime after dark for Disney, right? So, I mean, Tubi is a little bit more X-rated, but I think that's why if you look at business structures, that's why you'll have an S corp, a C corp, and an LLC. Technically speaking, that's what they've done, right? There's Disney, which is essentially the major corporation, the umbrella. Then underneath that is Fox, and under Fox, it's this particular platform that they own. So if anything happens, technically speaking, they could just throw Tubi away, and Disney is untouched. Structure, strategy.
Dealcaster says, yes, respect that standard of excellence for audio. Of course. Have you watched Tubi movies? It feels like you're talking to somebody in Nigeria. No offense to.
Oh, man.
But I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see the movies Alex is going to be directing on their Tubi. Y'all gonna need to turn me into an actress because Netflix just kicked me out. I need.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix is such a dominant force right now. Hopefully, they don't end up like the people that they played, which was Blockbuster. So hopefully, they don't end up like Blockbuster. They learned from Blockbuster's mistake to keep updating their technology and moving with the time. So we'll see what they do here in the next 5 years.
All right. So before we end, right, you are growth strategist consultant, right? Yep. All about strategy. I'm curious, just for me, because knowing you and knowing you personally and business wise, what's the most unconventional strategy that you've ever
implemented? There's so many different things. I mean, if I go back, I had this long-term plan as far as becoming a travel agent because I was building insurance agencies up and down the East Coast, and I wanted to leverage that capital to bring that capital internal into the company. So that was one of those far-fetched, wide visions that was just too far apart for anyone to really comprehend the connections between them. But what I'm doing right now, I would think with the internet radio station, it kind of falls under podcasting, but I think people really don't understand the concept that I'm going for. I mean, imagine like we have over 400 episodes, right? Every episode could be cut into like 5-minute, 60-second clips. Those clips could then become like audio loops. Those audio loops can then be mixed and mastered with music. So think about that, right? You could hear DJ Khaled screaming, "It's another one, number one." Or you can hear the Boston Cage in your radio station where we're having an interview with someone that's a multimillionaire and they're saying this key point of information that's a turning point in their career, mixed and mastered with music that we own the rights to. So it's taking that entertainment and also mixing it with education, but it's 100% boss.
I love that. And I must say, I've been enjoying implementing those. How you taught me that, you're like, it's so fun once you get the hang of it, and just to see how when you play the final part, like where there's music and then there's conversation, like, but the important part that it feels like, oh my God, that's the right shit I needed to hear, and then music again. It's just a beautiful thing.
And imagine if you add the DJ element to the top of it, right? So once you get enough tracks like that, imagine mixing and matching DJ style with the motivational quotes and the own music from the brand. Like there's no limitations. You can kind of go live and do a live DJ set, and then that content can then be uploaded to your internet radio station. And then on the podcast, I could talk about, hey, don't forget to tune in to our internet radio station. We just did a live mix last Saturday. So all of these things work with each other, and it's cross promotion, cross marketing that just makes it a seamless media entity.
So incredible. And I love how I'm going to start calling you the king of media, because it's amazing how you just, I know it's there. Like once you say it, you're like, oh my God, how did I not think of that? But you actually sit and think about that, because it is there. Like once you tell somebody and they're like, damn, that's all right, because they all go together. So your mind is something, man. That's why I like hanging out or just being in his presence, because I listen to him and I'm just like amazed by the knowledge in that head, because he also drinks too much. Like, have you seen his bar? So for a person who can hang, but then his mind, the power of his mind. I think people, we need to start what S.A has taught me, because I'm such a talker, but you have taught me to really listen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have noticed, most of the time when I'm around you, as much as I talk, I really don't talk as much, because I'm always constantly like listening and really. Sometimes I listen when people are talking, or people I really don't give a fuck. I just listen and it goes out, and it's like, then the other day you're like, oh, you say that? Oh, okay. I didn't hear that, but I was literally there. But with you, I sit with it, and I let it marinate, and then I'm like, I start writing notes, and I'm like, I gotta do this. I gotta change my strategy to this. I gotta implement this. So the power of listening, when you're around people. So thank you for giving me that power, because I don't listen as much, not to a lot of people.
No, I definitely appreciate it. And believe it or not, I didn't really hone into that until I became a podcaster. Like my season 1, and when I started hearing how good of a listener I was from the guests, I started to feed into that, and I started listening more and more and more, and started realizing I got 10 times better by listening versus talking, by listening versus asking questions, and then taking that information and taking action on it. So the more you listen when you're in front of someone, the more results you're going to get in the long run, because again, you want to learn, but ideally, if you're not listening to what they're saying, you're completely missing the damn point to begin with.
And actually hearing it, because as I said, you can listen and then you're just like, so that's why there are people who I just listen to and I'm like, okay, cool. And then there are people I listen to really hear, like, and then go put in the work. So the action part is still important. So don't just go be like, S.A told me to listen more, and then you just listen, but you gotta put action on it.
One slice of the pizza, man. Listening is one slice with some pepperonis and some garlic. You want a whole pie, you got to do more than just listen, right? So, I mean, but listen is the primary thing, no matter where you are. And then after that would be take action. I mean, things that we're doing at Boston Cage, it's 100% me listening to the market, seeing what's going on, seeing what's old, seeing what's new, and then saying, I'm going to create something because there's nothing that's ever really new, but they can be reinvented. So I'm kind of reinventing these old things, and then I'm establishing it through listening first and then executing second.
I love that. Well, S.A, I have actually learned so much just by hearing, and I know I'm gonna get off this call and go and write some shit, because I already have some ideas of shit I need to do just by this 30-minute conversation. And this is what you always do to me, and then you make my mind go crazy, because now I'm like, oh my God, because unlike you, my 24 hours still feel like 12 hours.
Nah, you just got to keep compounding those systems, man. Automation what makes 24 hours into 72 hours or 96 hours. It's automating things, man.
I really do wanna get better, and that's why I keep watching you and making my presence more on social media, like on these mediums, because every time I open my Facebook to just see you, and I'm like, oh my God, I need people to open their Facebook and constantly just see me in there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's so many people that watch your content that may not say they watch your content. They may not like it, they may not share it, they may not comment, and then you get on a phone call with them or you do like a instant message with them, and it was like, yeah, I saw this and I saw that, and I'm like, I never seen you like or say anything on anything ever, but you know exactly what the hell's going on. So believe it or not, you probably have stalkers that are just not saying anything to you as of yet.
Engagement, yeah. I really want engagement. For some reason, this time my Instagram, the engagement has gone up since Podfest, because right now, as soon as I came and I was making sure I was taking so much content. So since I came, like my Instagram has just been Podfest content. And right now people are still on that high. So everybody is like commenting and talking. So I love engagement as much as I hate it when people say, yeah, I saw you won an award, but you didn't even write congratulations on my post. You didn't even like it. Why are you telling me then? Like, shut up.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think for you, obviously, I think one thing that you did at Podfest that was hella funny to me was like sex sells. That's why Tubi is doing. And when you did that post with you and like 3 other females that were half naked, and everyone was kind of like, what's and I know it was staged because like, I understand behind the scenes. I know that pretty much you were naked, but you're not naked, and it's like the perception of like what happened and why. And that makes it so sticky.
And then now people, it starts a conversation, because that's what I want. And there's more, because this year Podfest was also kind of like SexCon as well. There's more sex content coming, which I can't wait to, because I realized also, and it's funny because the post I won, and which was posted 2 days ago, has not as much as the one which we are naked. I'm like, damn, you're really into.
Well, it's funny because like on my post, it's my internal personal life posts that have way more traction than any business post. If I post something about one of the kids, the engagement goes through the roof. If I post something about my wife, engagement goes through the roof. So I've just learned that, okay, if I'm going to do that post, I know when I'm going to do that post, and I know what post is going to come after that post. I never post 2 of those posts back to back. I always post that post to get the engagement, and then I'll post a Boston Cage post, or I'll post some business post secondary to it. So when they're scrolling, they'll at least see family, business in sequence.
And that's why you're the strategist consultant, because look at it, you're just giving us some strategy of how to work the algorithm system, because it's really trash. But again, people like nude and family and that. I mean, no offense, I will share your Boston Cage post, but whenever it's the family stuff and I'm seeing some things, I literally be commenting, and so it is true. Like,
100% engagement. 100%. And again, I think it's because people see you in a certain way, but when they see you with your family, they expect you to be different. And in our household, we are who we are in media, and we are the same behind the camera, in front of the camera. So it's kind of like the belief in the fact that it's the same person. You can meet me on the street, or you can meet me in the studio, and I'm going to be the same crazy bastard in either case. It's the same dude.
I gravitated to you and your family. Like, I love you, your wife, because it is you give the same online and out here, because I also do that. And I love it when I meet people and they're like, oh my God, you're the same person on the internet. I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, I talk like that, I post like that, I am that.
It's 10 times easier than trying to juggle personas. It's like, why would I mean, obviously everyone has personality disorders to a certain extent, but trying to juggle multiple different personas based upon where you are in the world or what's going on becomes so difficult. Just be yourself. If you be yourself, it's so much easier to be you collectively in all the environments. You have to be mindful, but always be yourself primarily and first.
Supposed to losing yourself, and that's when the mental health aspect comes. You're gonna get depressed, you're gonna get anxiety, because you get to a point where you really don't know who you are, because you're this person here, you're this person here, you're this person there, you're this person there.
Yep.
I can't even keep up just being Paula. Just being Paula, I can keep up with that. Now imagine if those Paula 2.0 or 3.0.
And I think that's why you have to respect actors, right? I mean, actors are people that they do that. And to the point, like they kind of get a little bit crazy because they get so consumed with that particular role that they stayed in for 18 months filming and then they have to go to another role. So to your point, like that's where you start to get like the mental, oh shit, it's the end of the world. I'm depressed. I'm not sure who the hell I am because like that constant
Alcohol all become so I also, that's why I get when actors end up into that too much drugs, too much, because it becomes in your head. You have done 50 or 20, 30 movies. Every movie you've been a character. Some, as you say, there's some movies where people say even before shooting the 6, 8 months, I still in the 5 months before the shooting, I already had to practice and be in that role. Because some people really have to get fat. Some people really have to cut their hair. So imagine for 2 years you are a different person, then you have to go back to being you for 5 minutes before you get to be a different person in a different movie. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I think the only person in the industry right now that I can think of off the top of my head that's the same person, probably on camera, off camera, is Tom Cruise. Like that, if you look at all his roles and then you look at his real life, that dude's really riding motorcycles. That dude is really flying stunt planes. He's really jumping off of that. Like Tom Cruise has like a vendetta with death that keeps missing him left and right every single day. But that's that dude, and that's why you have to respect him. And plus, he's like 60-something years old and he doesn't look it, right? Because he's living his life the same on camera as off camera.
And I started giving him respect. Like, I always used to be a fan, but like, yeah, whatever, Tom Cruise. But when he said he does his own stunts, I was like, what's up? Because a lot of people have stunts. He's like, no, I do my own. I was like, okay, that's some other level. Like, shout out to you. Like,
him and Jackie Chan, like they broke more bones than anything else than any other actor. But the reality is they love what they do and they're doing it at a scale, no matter where they're doing it. Like it's not a difference between on camera, off camera.
I mean, I don't consider Jackie Chan human. I feel like yes, because that's a whole other conversation over there.
That dude
By the way, shout out to Picard who said tons of great information this morning. You guys, I forgot I could do this. Why wasn't I doing this? Thank you so much. Let me give you let people see your props. There you go. Where was the one that this one? Yes, that one. I leave that one over there. Now, as we wrap this up, what does Boss and Cage have for us to look forward to?
This year, we're finally rebuilding our main website. So when I first started Boss and Cage, it was kind of like a secondary thought. It was me testing the waters. And essentially, the website was an old website that we just kind of threw the blog and the podcast in it. So right now, for the past 5 months, my team has been working on rebuilding all of our digital assets into one platform. So if you were to look at our spreadsheet, I think we're up to like 1,000 pages of all our different subdomains and all the different pages. So imagine when March comes around, we're going to have this new website that has all of our identities, internet radio, TV, everything in one platform. So that's definitely coming. And then after that is going to be a rejumping and a reissuing of our online academy with a brand new features, including audiobooks, ebooks, and everything else under the sun for education package. I'm not saying we're going after Udemy, but we're following the Udemy model.
S.A said I'm coming after all this shit. Give me Tubi, give me Udemy, give me we're taking over. I love it. I want to live in the S.A world. So I'm cheering you on. Like, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders. I will say, yes, go for it. Let's go. Let's get it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and dropping some gems. Definitely learned some shit. And I know I will be seeing you later. But before we let you go, let the people know this is your free throw chance. Let the people know what you do, where they can find you, and all the good stuff.
Well, I mean, it's easy, right? I mean, BostonCage.com is kind of just, I mean, literally by March, BostonCage.com is going to have everything that you're ever going to want to know about me and all what we do, right? So right now, if you just want to hit a podcast, you can go to podcast.BostonCage.com. And I would say that's the starting point. If you really want to know who I am, who I communicate with, and what value proposition we deliver to everyone that's listening to our podcast, I would start there. I'm not selling or promoting anything. I want you to start with the podcast. I want you to listen and then take action based upon what you're hearing.
All right. Well, thank you very much, S.A. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll see you later. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. For those who participated in the comments, shout out to Chris, Victoria, and Pika who are live with us, listening, watching, and sharing their insights. I hope you guys got some inspiration, motivation, or shit happens.
100%.
All right, we're going to end the stream.
Shit happens.